All right, what's up, idiots? This is Lord Narwhal here to fill you in on the ways that I have been wasting time lately. So the other day, I was thinking about streaming a 12-character battle, and I was looking for like what tools I had available to do that, so that I could like capture it on stream. And I was really like annoyed by what was available, because as far as I know, there's only actually two things. Actually, let me pull them up, and then I can just show you. Um, so this is one of them. And the thing, it's fine as far as like tracking goes, but the thing that's annoying about it is that like, actually, I'll just show you what I was doing with it. The thing that's annoying about it is that it's laid out horizontally, right? So, because it's laid out horizontally, it's really hard to capture inside of a 43 resolution window, which is what the N64 is, if you didn't know. So I was literally like in here, like trying to, okay, so maybe I can update this HTML, add another row here, end it down here, and oh, look at that, now I've got a horizontal one. But then the JavaScript breaks, and I don't know, I was like, okay, I hate this already. I hate front-end development. This crap is terrible. So after this one, I found John, no shots, I found John's tool, which is cool. It's laid out vertically, but still sucks for streams. Because once you like click stuff, everything updates, everything moves around, which is terrible for static elements. Plus, you can't even capture the whole window at once. You have to scroll, and there's no pop out or anything. So this isn't good for streaming either, because everything moves around. It's a great tool, a fantastic tool with great art. If you all you need to do is keep up with what's what in a 12-character battle. But it's still not good for streaming. So those are the two things that existed. Neither of them would have worked for my purposes. So I thought, well, hey, instead of wasting all my time trying to get one of these working, why don't I waste even more time making my own? So I did that. And this is the GitHub for it if you'd like to pop in and take a look. This is github.com/cmfitzj2/12cb. And then in here I have the source code, which you don't have to care about, but it's in here, as well as the resources, the images I used and stuff. But most relevantly to you will be this 12-character battle.jar. Using this, you can just run it as is, and just pray that I didn't put any viruses in it. So to run this, you're going to need the Java runtime environment, the JRE. I put this little README in here that you can go through that tells you everything about this. So go ahead and do that if you don't have it. But just really quick, all you need to do is open a command prompt, top. Yeah, you got the top Java.version. You got to type Java-version, and then it'll show you some information about your Java installation if you have it. And if you don't, then it'll be like, I don't know what that command is. It'll say it's not recognized. And then if that's the case, just follow this article for installing Java. I don't know what you're doing without Java in 2020. But anyway, so once that's downloaded, did I download it? Yeah, you can run it here. And so this is just like a basic Java UI using Swing. For those of you familiar with Java stuff, it's just basic Swing. I wasn't very familiar with Swing myself, actually, so a lot of this was just like learned on the fly, and is probably really crappy if you know what you're talking about and you look at the source code. You'd be like, wow, this is terrible. Don't roast me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm self-taught, okay? Leave me alone. Anyway, you put the stock count in here for how many stocks you want, and you hit the start button, and then, ooh, look at these laugh out loud hilarious images that a real joker made this application. What a funny guy made this. Look at these funny images he put in here. Anyway, so here are two sets of two windows. The first two on the left here, this is all described in the README, by the way, if you'd rather, just do that, if you'd rather read me. But this essentially is designed to work as either the thing that you capture on stream itself, and then you don't do anything with these two on the side here, or they're intended as a configuration window for these two things, which are the main windows. I don't want to listen to the freaking startup. Hold on. I have a client running, in case you couldn't tell by the music. Anyway, so basically I wanted to have the versatility. This actually was the original design I was going for, the one on the left here. But once I put it into OBS, I thought it looked bad, and so on Frey's advice, we came up with this. Well, he came up with the second type of window, which essentially just lists out the number of stocks you have left for each character. But basically, these both function independently. Well, not really independently on the second one, but the first one can be captured independently in a custom overlay, and then the second one can be like kind of a more real estate efficient way of capturing the same thing. So just to run you through how it works really quick, basically each of these two windows is for each players. This is player 1 and this is player 2, left and right, and they're clearly labeled at the top, so just look at that. So these function as configurations for this window. So this one on the left you can select your active character. You can change their stock count and everything on here just by clicking through them. And it'll update the image over there to make it clear to the viewer who's being played currently. And each one, obviously, you need a separate one for each player. So there's 2 of them. Yeah, and so this was just kind of a decent way of showing to the stream viewer, like, you know, what's going on in the 12 character battle. So I'm gonna actually, this is gonna be pretty meta. I'm gonna have to like open up OBS to show you a quick. Don't listen. I already told you not to roast me. Don't roast me for this either. I threw this together in like 5 minutes. I know it's a stupid looking overlay, but look, this is proof of concept. Okay, so you have player 1 on the left, player 2 on the right, essentially. And then inside of each one, you can basically. I know you can't see my windows anymore now, but you can see like which characters I'm hovering over, which character is currently active on here. It's easy enough. And then kind of as you click through, the stocks go down. If you run out of stocks, the portrait switches to gray. Standard stuff from a 12 character battle tool. But it's easy enough to work with this because there's, you know, space in the middle now, or there's space on either side because the client usually only fills up part of the width of the window. So this takes advantage more of the sides of the screen, and of course is actually resizable. I don't really, well, I'll do it just to show you, but I don't want to update the overlay to fix it when it gets bad. But you can stretch out any of these. Oh, I don't have filters on these either. I'll show you that later. Basically, you can make this bigger or smaller depending on what you want to do with it and like how it fits into your overlay. This is about as small as it gets before Java starts destroying everything. But obviously, it's a little harder to tell who's who in this when the screen's that small. You can also make it much bigger, tall ways and width ways, just however you want to do it. You can actually, I'll talk about this in a second, but you can pretty easily filter out this blue color that's back here if you want to actually stretch it out really big like this. But I don't really know why you'd be doing that. Either way, though, so this is, I mean, hopefully fairly straightforward to use, and this is just one proof of concept. I'll show you the next one now. So this is the second window here. You can see that this actually affords you a lot more space for working with things. And actually, let me pull it up. The reason I wanted to have it like this was to allow for like a input display or for like a webcam or something. So let me actually pull up my input display and launch this. Okay, so here's my controller display, and then there's my two windows down there. It's not capturing my actual inputs. Well, bummer. I don't really care to debug this right now, but anyway, so you can see this affords you a lot more space. The icons will wrap kind of however the size of the window is. So if you want to see this, I'm actually like changing the size of my Java window right here, and it wraps the icons in whatever way you're doing it. Ooh, let's not cut off Ness. But yeah, so kind of it'll be dynamically resized based on, or the stock icons will be dynamically replaced based on the size of the window. You can deplete them or decrement them very easily by just clicking through the characters on the config window. So yeah, I think it's a pretty straightforward way. God, I love Pikachu's picture. I was so happy when I took that. So it's a pretty easy way. These are great. I'm a hilarious man. This is a great way to kind of have a nice succinct summary of how the 12 character battle is going in a really simple way. Oh, and really quick, I just want to go through how to make the backgrounds invisible inside of OBS like this. So let me capture my desktop again. So when you go inside of OBS, basically I can show you it on a different element, or actually let me just add one of them here, and then maybe that would be easier. I'll drop this guy in here. So hopefully this infinite mirror effect is good for you, as good for you as it is for me. Actually, let me do not this one. Let me do one of the actual, yeah, these ones. So a couple of points. I would definitely say don't capture the cursor on it. Say window title must match, so that it doesn't pick a random window for the Java instance. And then hit OK, and then hop into the filters for this this thing. Create one, and I put the numbers into the README for on the GitHub. So I'll have to pull that up in a second. But basically, just create a color key filter for the element. Go to this. So the RGB value is 0, 191, 255. So you can do a custom color inside of OBS. 0, what was it? 0, 192, 255, something like that. 255. That'll be close enough at least. So that automatically gets a lot of the blue out of it. But then let's see. So similarity 234, smoothness 185. These are just values that worked pretty well for me when I tried them. Let's actually just type this. So similarity 234, smoothness 185. That gets rid of a lot of the blue. There's still a little bit on the edge, but it's pretty unnoticeable once it's actually in frame. Infinite. Pretty trippy. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to walk you through really quick how to set these transparencies. Yeah, that's about it. Provided the source code in case you want to compile it yourself, read through it yourself. Make sure I'm not giving you a keylogger. There's really no way to know when you run a jar. I guess you could scan it. I don't know. Anyway, hope this is helpful to anyone who wants to use the 12 character battle streaming tool. And see you later.